All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of the KingKhong Show. Today we have guests Cheryl and Chanelle. If you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit, they are the founders of a community organization they founded not too long ago called MORAA. So if you guys want to give a brief introduction about yourselves and kind of explain what MORAA is.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Go
Yeah. I'll
ahead,
go
Chanel.
first. Okay, so my name is Chanelle Chong, and I study in the US with Cheryl. And we've recently just got back from the US, and we're both based in Malaysia, Johor Bahru specifically. And Cheryl, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Cheryl. I'm majoring in chemical engineering in Chicago. Mora is a platform that we've created to advocate for the taboo topics in Malaysia. So we're very excited to share with you guys more on this.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's
Oh,
super
go ahead,
cool.
Anna. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's really cool. I was taking a look at your guys' Instagram, and it looks like it's only been around like what is it? I want to say 3 weeks.
Yeah,
No,
forgive
3 weeks
me if
yeah,
I'm wrong.
around that.
Yeah, it's around
since
3
we
weeks.
started our Instagram, but it's
Mm-hmm.
been like on the move like since October.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's crazy. You guys already have over 2,000 followers, and it's only been like 3 weeks.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of attention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we're
the
hoping
amount of
that we
people.
can like achieve more, you know? We want
Mhm.
more.
What I
Yeah.
want to say, like, how did you guys get like inspired to do this? Like, was there something in your guys' life that made you guys like this? You guys want to raise awareness for this?
Yes, actually, we weren't, like we didn't actually get into this topic specifically. We didn't actually focused on the art of growing up, which is our project. We were thinking about a lot of things that has happened in our lives and our experiences in Malaysia, because the culture here and the culture in the US is really, really different. So, and after having that experience studying in the US and then coming back here, we could actually just step out and be sort of like the third person and look at these two drastic changes, and we see that there can be this balance in Malaysia where we could talk about topics that are known as very taboo in our culture, and without being it too sensitive. And that's why we thought that we could be the ones that are doing this, and that's what inspired us to do it. Yeah, Cheryl, go ahead.
We have like a little startup story. Chanel and I were just sitting in Starbucks. Like my grandpa was in his deathbed, and Chanel lost his grandpa to cancer, and I lost mine too. So we were just talking about grief, and we were talking about all the traumatic experiences we've had since kids. And we've known each other for 6 years now, but it was our first time sharing those stories with each other. And we realized, holy crap, like we've never talked about this. Why? And we
Yeah.
realized that the issue to a lot of our problems is because we do not dare to speak up due to the prejudice we a lot of people hold as a community, as a society. Now Mora wants to be the first change towards that by advocating for the awareness, hence improvement.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I know we had a conversation about this before, and you guys said that it's really not common for people in Malaysia to talk about these specific topics that you guys cover in Mora. I see topics surrounding single parenting, about adolescence, and it seems like there's a lot of cultural norms that you guys face in Malaysia that you're not able to comfortably talk about to any person, but because you guys are specifically friends, you guys can talk about it. But let's say you were to befriend someone in Malaysia, you would not just be able to talk about these topics that are brought up.
Yeah, even if we're just talking about with our peers, even with our own friends group, it is difficult to talk about these topics, and we have tried before talking about we have tried talking about a little bit more sensitive topics to our friends,
Mhm.
and it was just silence. It was just awkward
Oh, that's
silence.
awkward.
So
It was
funny.
very awkward. And Cheryl was just like, Chanel, nobody wants to hear about it. Nobody wants to know about it. Shut up. And I was
We
like,
just
okay, okay.
Cheryl's just like, just stop talking, Chanelle. I don't think anyone will respond to you.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was hilarious. It was hilarious.
yeah, it was hilarious. And like even after she said it, I was just like,
She was
oh,
like, why not?
why not? And then she was like, shh. And I
Yeah,
was
you're
like, okay,
just
Not
like,
with them. It's not with them right now.
you're just like,
yeah,
am I not allowed to talk about this? Like, I thought you
yeah,
guys were my friends, but what is this awkward silence?
yeah. It was just pretty shocking to me, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely feel like I get that awkwardness. It's more awkward, especially when you thought you were able to like talk about it with your friends. So you're like, oh my God, yeah, totally. Like, do you guys not agree? And they're like, what is she talking about? I'm like,
That
oh,
actually,
never mind. So I'm the weird one.
Yeah,
it was so funny. But like, I don't blame Chanel because like we talk about those things like all the time. Like we talk
Yeah.
about everything. So when we were
yeah.
sitting in a group with like our friends, she just mentioned like a random topic, and they were like, nah, we'll pass. There was just that silence, and Chanel being like,
I
That's
know.
when you
I
know
was
there's a
like, I was
barrier.
pretty shocked. You know, I was pretty shocked because um I just didn't know that in different, friend group, there's just different like topics that we should and should not talk about, which is kind of weird to me personally because I thought like in some of my other friends group, I would just talk about anything at all, and everyone would just keep the conversation going, and then we would explore more. I think if we talk about depression, then we would talk about, yeah, depression is like teenagers are having it. Oh, is it a trend, or is it we would talk about these kind of like ideas. But I thought that I could talk about these with like my other friends group as well, but it is not happening. It is not happening, which is why that that triggered Cheryl and I to be like, to create Mora, because we thought that if you, this topics such as depression is taboo to talk about in a friends group, then what would happen if someone in that community is experiencing mental health issues or mental illness, and who are they going to talk about with, where are they going to get the support, so that is what really concerned the both of us and our team as a whole. That's right.
we were just shocked, and we were like, yeah, this needs to change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree because like growing up, I have a lot of like friend groups. Like I have a white friend group, I have a brown friend group, and like I also have an Asian friend group. But like for me, like sharing like my personal stuff, I only share that with like a decent amount of them. I don't share with all of them because like, do I really want to like yeah, I trust them, but at the same time, like, do I really want to share with them? Because like I don't know how they're gonna portray me if I go open to them. Like
Right.
my brown friends, like yeah, like I could open up to them every single day, and like they're gonna be there for me. But I feel like if I open up to like my white friends, like yeah, we're like bros and everything. I just feel like it's just like a different sort of like stigma that they're just gonna be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, we actually understand how that is like, even though it's really different, it's really different in the US and over here. But Malaysia, it's really, diverse. We have three main cultures, I would say, in Malaysia. So there's Malays, and then there's Chinese, and then there's Indians. And in some schools, the three races actually get together along pretty well. But we do know that um, it's often like government schools would be the Malays, and then there's Chinese high school, which is would be like Chinese, and then international school would just be like the rest where the rest where it fits in. Yeah, so if you look at it, we're pretty much divided, as a community, and that's not how Malaysia should be. And we felt that Malaysians are still not ready to talk about it. It is there, the issue is there, but we're just not ready to talk about it. And we want to bring up the project called The Art of Growing Up, because we want to take things step by step. So we're going to take baby steps and then let everyone understand from the most basic one. We're going to talk about maybe open communication, and then we slowly talk about a bit more sensitive, and then we build up and build up and build up more heavy topics that so that we hope that our audiences can slowly kind of like integrate into this into this idea and into this exploration of newer and more sensitive topics.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. I mean, so one thing that I was like really curious about, I know Chanel earlier you mentioned that you study in LA, and I know Cheryl you studied abroad back in Chicago with me at UIC, and we were even in a Greek organization together. So, and I know one of the topics you guys cover in MORAA is on like the education system in Malaysia. So I guess I just want to ask, like, is it really common for students in Malaysia to want to study abroad? And did any of your perception change on the education system coming back to Malaysia after experiencing like study abroad in LA and Chicago?
Cheryl,
Okay.
you can go first. Yeah.
And I was like, I have a lot to say on
Cheryl
that.
has a lot to say
Oh
about that.
God. Okay, let's go.
Okay, because I am the content, like I'm in charge of content for Mora right now. So like I have to do a lot of research for this. First of all, I would just like to clarify that Mora, like currently, we're not standing in an angle that is like against, oh, our education system is not good enough. Instead, we want to be the organization, a platform to advocate for a new wave of education for our fellow Malaysians.
Right.
In Malaysia, even though Chanel and I, we're Chinese Malaysians, right? And a lot of our friends are Chinese Malaysians. But the idea of open-mindedness differs based on the school they go to, the community they were raised in. Like if you're like 4 hours away, you live in Kuala Lumpur, I live in Johor Bahru, we'll definitely have a lot of like different mindsets. So in order to unite and then to trigger people to actually unite and to actually start thinking about our current state and where our mindsets currently lie. As Chanel said just now, we are really trying to like ease into it. We're not trying to be
Right.
like, boom, sexual assault is a problem in Malaysia, face it. We're trying to like communication is this and trying to build it up. But with that said, going abroad to study is is something that's considered very privileged, and it's something that's considered a lot of people's dream because
Right.
I mean, I go to UIC, I pay 20,000 per semester for international tuition,
Yeah,
just tuition.
that is
So
crazy.
it's not, yeah, it's like, it's not something that um, every single person has the privilege to pursue. And I'm very grateful that my parents gave me this opportunity. And I'm very grateful that I'm able to go abroad. With that said, we picture studying abroad as something, as a bed of roses. Like, oh, we're gonna be so happy. We're gonna make so many friends.
Ah,
Our
fantasize
life,
the romance.
yeah, like our life is set, and we go there. Mm, it's like Chanel and I actually had like anxiety slash depression like during the first weeks, like the first weeks
Yeah.
to like the first months when we were alone in the US. And like I lost like 5 kilograms. I don't know what that is in pounds.
I think that's
Like
around 10 pounds because I
Yeah, I was
think
about to
a
say, yeah.
kilogram is like 2
yeah,
pounds.
when I first got there, and like
That's a
the
lot though for the first
that
week.
Yeah, for
that
one
is
week.
the realization, the like expectations versus reality was crazy, and no one ever prepared us for that. They just told us you're so lucky to go abroad, which we are, don't get me wrong, but the hardships that come with it that we were never exposed to, this is also something that we are going to be bringing up in Mora. Like we're not trying to like, oh, that's not good, oh, that's not as good as you
Right.
think, but we're trying to be a little bit more realistic in terms that we are preparing you, and we are trying to get you to think for the betterment of yourself.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
you're just trying to get out the topics that
yeah.
not everyone is comfortable talking about, you know? So like you said, you're bringing up the realistic things, you know, when people say they want to study abroad, you're like, yeah, that's amazing. You fantasize that. I mean, to be honest, like I fantasize that because I live here in Chicago and my dream is to like study abroad in Singapore. Like that's been my dream since I was little, right? But obviously there's probably going to be like hardships, you know, like now that we're also talking about it, that kind of got me thinking too, like, no one's gonna come with me, right? This is like my own individual decision. So it's gonna be like my responsibility to talk to people when I go there, know my form of communication. And also, Singapore is not in the US. Like, I don't know specifically how the education, you know, is there.
Yeah, follow up to that. What's called like, how would you say how you would like adapt to American culture? Because like me and Anna grew up here, like we adapted to it. But like if I was to go back to Vietnam, where my parents are from, like I have no idea what to do. Like I don't even like Vietnamese food like that. Like I can't even speak it. I can't even speak it. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even. I can barely speak it. Like my sister, my brother, they could speak it like fluently. They could read. They could write. And then I could speak a little. I can't read. I can't write. So like if I was to fly back to Vietnam, I have no idea what I'm doing in there.
That's sad, Danny. That's just
Yeah,
sad.
that's pretty sad. Not gonna lie.
Come on, you
Chanel,
can't
you
even
go for it.
communicate.
What's
Yeah,
up?
but so like I feel like adapting to the American culture is pretty tough for me personally. I feel like Cheryl's been good with it. Honestly, I feel like she's good. Like yeah, but for me personally, it's kind of tough because like when I was here, right? When I was here, I've always watched American TV shows, movies, songs, whatever. I've always admired American culture, American stars, celebrities, all of that. But when I'm and like so when I was here, a lot of people would tell me that I was whitewashed. I love the American culture more than I love Malaysian culture. And I was thinking about it. And then but when I went to America and I realized, oh my God, I am so Asian. Like I am so Asian.
Now I feel you on that, like so much.
There are some things that I am still so, strong with, and
Chili
when I
sauce.
look, sorry.
Chili sauce. We brought chili sauce when we
Oh
went back.
yeah. We brought chili sauce because we can't live with ketchup. Like, what in the world? What is that?
Like go to a burger restaurant, you're like, what is ketchup when I can just dip my French fries in chili sauce? Like,
yeah, we need the spice, and it's really funny. And like, when like there's just some things that I see and I'm like, what? Like when when I went to a pho restaurant
mhm.
and then you order pho and noodles, obviously, and
Yeah,
then they come
Vietnamese food.
and then they put like sriracha in the noodle. And I was like super shocked. Like
She was culture shocked. She was
I was so shocked because I was like, what? Do people actually put that in? Like, I'm so shocked.
I do.
I do. My parents do that.
I don't know. I personally don't. I eat it like how it is.
Interesting. I put
interesting.
sriracha though on like everything.
Yeah, which is I thought like sriracha is just something that I would dip my meatballs in,
Meatball.
But then they put it in the
It's actually called bo ying. Like the Vietnamese food is called bo ying.
Oh, see,
yeah.
I'm culturally lacking now.
yeah, this and like how the Americans make their instant noodles as well. I was really shocked. So there are a lot of things that I was really shocked about, and it took me a while to process everything because I was alone there. And it's really I felt that it was offensive if I showed this shockness to everyone. I can't be like, I'm in your country and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? I try to keep it down. And I was like, oh, interesting.
Okay, that's happening.
Okay. Yeah, good for you.
So that is so interesting. I cannot believe that it shocked you that they put sriracha in noodles. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to process it. And I guess like for me, like we put sriracha in our noodles like all the time for like extra spiciness. I even last night, like I'm pretty sure I put sriracha on my hard-boiled eggs. I put them on my eggs in the morning. I put sriracha over avocados to make them spicier. I am in love with sriracha, and our house can never run if we don't have a sriracha bar because my mom and I are like spicy fanatics. So we will literally like dip sriracha sauce and like French fries too. Like it's crazy.
Sriracha, if you're listening to this, sponsor Anna.
Yeah, please.
I feel in Malaysia, our main source of spice, like actual spice, is like the chili itself. Like you have those like small chilies, which we call chili padi. We just chop them up, put it in like soy sauce, and eat them.
Yeah,
That's and it burns like hell, but we love it. We're suckers for it.
Yeah.
That's
We
crazy.
do it like we put it in our fried rice as well. Am I right? I don't know. I
Yeah,
do
like
it.
everything. No, literally
Everything.
like
Yeah, we need
everything.
it.
Oh my gosh. Wow,
Yeah.
that's so interesting. I'm like kind of culturally educated now a little bit on the Malaysian spice.
Because of chili sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing that I started wondering, so you guys are like mentioning how like you two are like, very close, right? So like you guys are comfortable enough to talk to each other about these topics. I know you guys have, from what I've seen on the Instagram,
Let me
it seems
pull it
like you
up.
guys
Let me
kind of
pull it
have
up.
like a team already. So I'm kind
Mhm.
of wondering, wait, let's take a look at your Instagram. The feed looks really nice, first of all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Credits to our design team.
Yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and kind of like, if you want to explain like the theme of your Instagram, go ahead.
So the entire like design, the like color plates, they're all credits to our co-founders, Farah and Mia. They're actually sisters and they're living in a city that's like a 3 hour drive away in Kuala Lumpur. And then they study design in a local university. Just look at it. They're
The art is
amazing at their
amazing.
job. They're amazing at their job.
Yeah. I was gonna say like every time you guys upload a post, I look at the art and I go, wow, like that is amazing. And I just feel like the colors of like every post that you guys post just makes it pop, Like it's
Yeah, like
just
it blends in so well.
um but yeah, you
I
were
will not
mentioning
take any credit for that. Like Farah and Mia.
Mhm.
Mm.
Farah and Mia, go Mora
Yeah,
design team.
like
Like all you guys. But yeah, like that's crazy. And I know so as I was mentioning earlier, I do see that you guys kind of have like a team kind of set. So I know you guys talked about how like you, Cheryl, you and Chanel kind of decided to found Mora, and you just mentioned like your design team, the two sisters, like, and I know how many members are there in your team right now around?
Currently, it's around like 15-ish.
That's a
15.
lot
15.
That's a
actually.
lot.
15-ish. It's not enough though, because our contents keep coming up and we have a lot of things lined up,
That's
and
great.
we need a lot of people to, give ideas, sort of like edit it and like try to make it more better and like yeah, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, so it's not enough because we're mostly split into groups, so there's gonna be like 4 people in a designing team and like there it's not enough for them as well because we have a lot of contents coming up and then they have to keep designing and designing and designing and then that's around like 5, am I right, Cheryl, for
For design,
content?
for
For content,
content.
yeah.
Content we have yeah, we have around
Yeah, they
five.
have around 5 to 6, but it's still, not enough. It's really not enough because we are striving to become better because we've had a lot of feedbacks, telling us, asking us, what really is our vision and what really is our goal. And then we felt that we haven't really put it out there as much as we want to, it hasn't reached our full potential. And I
Mhm.
feel like it comes with time, it comes with time, it comes with efforts, it comes with patience as well. So the more that we put in effort into and the bigger team that we have, I feel like it would really, really help us to reach our full potential and into really helping our community and not just put up a platform where we just, simply want something to be up there. Where we want to is we really want to make a change. We don't want to just, this is what I've
Look
done,
pretty.
Yeah.
look at this. Instead there are actually plans that we have had and we are trying to sort of just like look at it, tweak
Mhm.
on it, and then we want to actually really, really help our Malaysian communities. So that's what we're striving for right now.
So 2 to 5 years from now, what is more going to be, and is it like, what are you guys trying to do then?
Oh, way to
Oh,
throw the question at them, Dan.
oh, that's heavy.
Yeah, that's like too.
That's heavy.
Okay, call us
Okay.
crazy, but like in 2 to 5 years, we see ourselves as a professional organization that has links to a lot of resources for victims, for people going through mental health, for people
Mhm.
who seek help. We want to be like the platform and the bridge towards the people who need help and professional help. On that note, we do want to keep advocating for topics we feel like are in desperate need of attention, and we also will keep on, in a way, our initial goal for the betterment of Malaysia. So we'll keep on updating ourselves, we'll keep on updating Mora. And then I feel like our main long term goal is professional help.
Yes. We really want to get in professional help to really, um, emphasize on the importance of mental health, because we take so much time on our physical health every day. If you get sick, you're like, yeah, I need to go to the doctor. But if, let's say, today and for the next consecutive months, you've not been feeling yourself, or you've not been thinking right, or you've not been in the right mood, and you don't, nothing comes up to your mind saying that I should go and see a doctor. I'm not saying like people out there are like that. I'm saying even myself, I was once like that. I had so much anxiety and like all of these things going on in my head, that I knew that I needed to get help. But why don't I just go and get help? Why do I just sit here and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, should I?
It's
But
like
if you have a broken leg, you don't be like, should I go to the doctor? You
right.
know? Yeah. So we want to really emphasize on the fact that your mentality is super, super important, especially it is all interconnected. You can't just not have a good brain and your good health and be able to do good in your academic. You can't do that because it goes hand in hand. So in the long run, in the future, what I see for Mora is that we we've successfully have more people going to see and seek for help. If you are thinking of suicide, there are platforms out there ready for you to call. But why aren't you calling? You're not crazy, because in here or in China or anywhere else in the world, when we talk about mental health, in English it sounds beautiful, mental health.
Yeah.
But in Chinese, on the other hand, it doesn't sound good.
Sounds like
It's
you're
like
a
crazy.
psychopath.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a psychopath.
Sounds like psychopath in Chinese.
Yeah. And so if you talk to your parents, if in your in let's say you're from a Chinese background and you only talk Mandarin with your parents, and if you talk to them like, hey, I think I am a psychopath, it sounds like this. And they would be like, no, you are not a psychopath, So the language is really, really important as well in this sense. And I feel like if we're be able to do it, we want to extend it not just to teenagers and our peers, but we want to extend it to adults or parents specifically, so that we can tackle these issue with them, with their help and their support. Because it is important how we, parents, I mean, not we as parents, but parents.
We're too young for that,
Oh,
but
maybe, I don't know.
mhm.
Okay, but I just thought that it's really important for parents to actually get involved with these kind of movements and these kind of platforms to help their children and to help generations, to go. That's what I think.
I love that. I mean, everything you guys just said was like, I was listening and I totally related to it. And I think that's really awesome. I mean, first of all, that was a deep question, but you guys answered that so well.
Yeah.
So it's really vivid that you guys like have a set vision for more, which I think is super awesome. When you were talking about mental health, I like felt like I related to that so much about having your language matter on how parents view you, because I'm from a Korean American family. Our culture, I feel like it's like you said, if your daughter or son goes to see like a psychologist or a
Yeah.
psychiatrist, it's more like saying something is wrong with my kid.
Yeah.
and
And it's
it's
embarrassing to a lot of them.
yeah, and it's something that like my parents wouldn't want to tell my relatives about or tell their friends about, because it's nothing to brag about, if you will, saying, oh, my daughter is seeing a psychologist right now because she's facing this problem, right? So it was never really an option in my family to ever even think about going to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist or even talking to my parents about stress, anxiety, or anything. So I definitely felt you on that.
Yeah, and do you think, I mean, I know this is like, you should be asking me the questions, but I want to ask you this.
No,
But
yeah, feel
you
free.
do you feel like if like your parents had a chance to sort of like understand these kind of situations through a platform, would you say that it would change your life? Like, would you say that, yeah, like would it change your life, like if your parents had to understand what you were going through and have you consult a psychiatrist, a psychologist, I don't know, like would it really change your your being and your state of mind?
Hmm.
I would, for me, because like my family, we're not really that open to each other. Like I'm 21 now. I turned 21 like 5 days ago. So like we they have never actually said I love you to me, and actually haven't even said that to them as well. So like I feel like if they were like educated, like more open to us, like we would have more communication. Like every time like I love my parents, they love me obviously, but like every time I go home, like the communication, like what we talk about is like not very there. We don't have those like deep, meaningful talks. Like I know like for you guys, and maybe you guys have like deep, meaningful talks with your parents, but like that's only like affiliated with my sister. Like my sister really talks to them about their stuff. But like for me and my brother, like we don't really talk to them. I feel like if they were more educated, like we could be like more wholesome as a family.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think Danny brings up like an interesting point. I feel like, every Asian American family might be different, but I think it's really great that, as the generation goes on, like more people, whether how old you are, like are getting adjusted to the usage of social media, which is saying that it is a great opportunity for MORAA to actually spread this awareness to even adults and people, because I know my parents read the news a lot and they read articles a lot. They're pretty much kept up to all the celebrity gossip, if you will, that goes on in Korea because that's how much they're on their phones, like in their break time. So I'm sure there's definitely a chance there where they could utilize some of that time to somehow come across MORA or come across a platform and suddenly like read an article about that and maybe could have changed their perception on thinking, is what am I doing to my child right now, mom? I just want to say like I love you and I
I also feel
Yeah.
like if like parents know that like asking for help is okay, because like when I grew up, like I thought asking for help meant like someone's weak, like they have no confidence in themselves, and like they're very intelligent. And like growing up now, I realized like you should ask for help. You should ask for help when you know you need it, or like if you see if other people need it. Because like I used to babysit this one kid, and like he doesn't like we tried to tutor him and all that. Like we like I think he has me and my brother thinks he has maybe like a deficit, like ADHD. And like I was trying to tell my parents, like you should recommend to his parents like to go to the doctor and get checked out just in case, because like he doesn't want to do his homework ever. Like I don't know, but like at the end of the day, my parents were like, no, you can't, like that's just rude saying it to them. Like it's okay, like if you to listen to an opinion, like ask for help and everything.
Yeah. We get that. And like what you're saying is that it's really interesting how even though we're all Asians in all different countries brought up with all different type of
yeah.
parents,
Mm-hmm.
yet we still could relate to a lot of things that we say here.
Mhm.
And honestly, what like it was kind of shocking to me because I have like had that sort of like experience before where I tell my mom, I think this kid needs help, and she was like, no, we can't be the one saying this
Mm-hmm.
to the parents. It would be wrong. It would
Oh
be.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. Then like should we just let the kid be like that?
Yeah.
Right.
And Yeah, because sometimes you as a parent, you wouldn't know what's wrong with your kid unless someone tells you,
Mhm.
something might be wrong with your kid, maybe check that up. But, my parents would be like, no, no, we don't want to be the one that tells the parents that there is something wrong with your
The
kid.
parent.
Right.
It's something that's like, no, we don't want to do it. Yeah. Which is why when like that kind of concept actually kind of applies to Cheryl and I, because you see a lot of people in Malaysia knows that these are the types of taboo topics that we should be really talking about, but
Mhm.
they're like, yeah, no, we don't want to be the one that
Yeah.
does this, we don't want to be the one. We know that we see the issue. We see that this there is a problem or there is a flaw, but there are people who are like, yeah, we don't want to be the person that speaks out for this. We don't want to be the one that spreads this awareness, because what if we get backlashes? What if people don't like this idea? What if our community hates this idea that we're bringing up? But that's why a lot of these considerations has been going through our minds, Cheryl and I actually, and it has been truly difficult, actually really truly difficult, um, to sort of put this out there, because talking to our parents that we want to do this, they're always afraid that, what if you get backlash? What if you cross the line? And what if you talk about something that you're not supposed to talk about? And it has been a difficult period of time, because we have to constantly sort of like tell our parents that we understand that there is this risk, there is this risk of getting backlashes, because we as individuals, we're not perfect. We don't know what's best. We're also trying this out. We want to do something rather than not do something to help, you know so um like I've seen Cheryl and their family, like she has been telling their family, like this is really what I want to do, and she has seen me telling my family, this is what I want to do. So it's something that is very, I hope that it is something very inspirational to other people out there, because it just shows that um if there is something that you want to do but you're afraid that you might get backlash, if you have someone like Cheryl, and if Cheryl has someone like me, then we would actually be fearless. We are like, it's us against the world. Like we
It
actually
really
said that. It's
is.
so cringe. It's so cringe and it's so cliche, but we were like, wow, if it weren't for you. And she's like, wow, if it weren't for you, like we would never have done this. And we were driving, right? Like after 6 meetings in a day from like 9 a.m. to literally like 8. And
Yeah, that
then
was intense.
that was intense.
That was
We were like,
intense.
yeah, we were like driving. And then like we were both crying. Like
Oh
we were both crying
no.
because like we know that it's getting serious. What we're doing is getting serious. And then it's like, it's that sudden realization that we might actually,
Create
you know,
something.
yeah, we might actually
It
be
may
some.
actually be a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like we've never imagined this. We've never ever imagined this.
It's
How
crazy.
it was how we started this. It was really this conversation. Cheryl, you want to act it out with me? So it was like, so like let's do like an organization.
And I was
And then
like,
Cheryl,
yeah, sure, let's do it.
and then I was like, yeah. Like my professor told me that there's this thing. Like we
And I
should
was like,
do it.
okay, let's
Like,
switch it up.
let's do it. And then we were like, yeah, let's do it. And then we were like, oh
What
crap.
next?
What's an NGO? Like how do we
Yeah.
make,
Oh my
like
God.
we were like, what is a private limited company? Ugh. And then we were like, what is all of these things? And then it was only then we were like, okay, we have to take things step by step,
Steps.
And then Cheryl was like, how can we not know all these things? And I was like, So how many people knows these things, is my question. Because we're both still, 20, and NGO
Well, we're 20.
operation, it's still like very new to us. I am not a business major, she's not a business major. So like, if anything, like what I want to say to the people who'll be hearing this podcast is that you don't have to be professional in something to start something up, because we're both not, counselors.
Can we frame that to
Yeah.
everyone who are watching this podcast? Please say that again. Be inspiration.
Yeah, like you don't have to be a professional in something that you want to, that you're so passionate about.
Mhm.
Because if you have that passion, you can make it work, because you can then, as you are progressing with this passion, you will learn things that you would eventually need to know, if you want this to work. So you don't have to really, you actually don't have to be afraid of whatever backlash, all of these things, because if you're really passionate about something, it will work,
Mhm.
So that's what I want to say to people who are listening to this podcast.
Oh my God.
I love
Well,
that.
that's amazing. And you guys are so inspirational. And honestly, like, I don't know if it's going to sound weird because, like, I'm literally also 20, right? But, like, here we are, like, two different. It's just weird. Like, I'm here as the side as, like, a podcast co host, and then
Mhm.
you're over there as, like, founders of this moral community organization. And, like, Cheryl and I went to school. I don't know. Like, it's just weird. I'm just, like, piecing everything together, and it's just like crazy how, like, even though you went back to Malaysia, we kind of reconnected like this. Like, I
Mhm.
never thought that day would come soon because I thought you were gonna stay in Malaysia forever. I mean, but I mean, it's nice to at least like see what everything that you guys are doing. And like, those were such inspirational words, Chanel. You're like suddenly motivating me. Like, what am I passionate about? Like, should I just go for it? Like, start my own business?
Yeah, you should just go for it, actually. I mean, look at Cheryl. She literally studies about chemical engineering,
She's a smart
which
bee.
has nothing to do about community. And yet she's
Right.
like, yeah, I want to do this,
Mhm.
Aside from being a chemical engineering major, I really want to contribute to the society and give back to the community. And she was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. And then, we're on the way. So let's see how
We're
it works
taking
out.
our baby steps. Like,
Yeah.
we're not rushing into anything. We're not riding a wave. This is something
Mhm.
that we see that's very long term and something we want to build together. But we are very, like, we've expressed our gratitude to each other like so many times. Like,
love
it's disgusting. Like, we would just sit in the car and then cry, and then we would just cry, like, I don't know, like sitting on the bed. Like, we cry everywhere.
Yeah. And like,
We cry
the most-
everywhere.
and the funniest thing is Cheryl's always like, don't hug me. I would cry. Don't hug me.
Oh,
And
stop.
she starts crying and she hugs me and we cry.
Yeah. And she's like, don't hug me. If you hug me, I'm going to cry. And I'm like,
Okay, but
"I
that's
hug
how
you."
you know. That's how you know you're true friends, though. When you just cry over nothing and you can just hop on a phone call and be like, there's that awkward silence, and then one person just starts crying and then you both cry, like, that's when you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because like we see MORAA, we're so motivated right now. We're so like, oh, like the future is bright. But dude, it was so hard. Like
Yeah. It was
to
so-
be where we are, like even today, to be where we are even today, it was so hard. Like to see people, to like share our ideas to like people we think would be interested in supporting the cause, and then like them just turning a blind eye. I called Chanel right after and I was like, dude, I'm like so disappointed. And she was like, I saw it coming, it's fine.
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, it's okay,
Mhm.
Like
Not, not everyone,
yeah.
not everyone sees these as an issue.
Mhm.
Like not everyone has been through this, so it is actually okay. If you don't if you don't care about it and you don't have any opinions on it, then it's also fine. Just don't like say negative comments. Then you're fine.
Right.
Yeah, but
know?
like that's why like we're trying to like it was just really hard because like there was a lot of negative feedback like along the way, and like some of them were like pretty harsh, but like we stood up, we continued. So like whenever
Yeah.
we think about like where we were, like how we like went along like together, it just we just get really emotional, and we're like, oh my
Mhm.
god, like oh
Yeah,
my
it's
Yeah,
hard to
that's
take
a good one.
criticism.
Yeah, it is hard, but like those criticism is like, yeah, that's why like this exists. Like this is
yeah,
Right.
why
no,
we
literally,
exist. And we were
literally.
like, yeah, this is why we need it.
I love that. See, this is the mentality that everyone needs if you are starting something. Because if you're an emotional person like me, or like both of you, if you guys are,
Like
it
like
seems to
us.
be, but it's okay because we're all emotional at some points. Like boys cry too. Like I believe it. Boys
Yeah,
cry.
I cried. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
admit it.
Yeah, these are the type of things that would be interesting to talk about, crying, because it is a lot of times we try to, just say, what we're trying to do is to seek that happiness and always be in that happy state. And that happy state is what humans should be at. But emotions like crying defines who we are as well, like crying
Yeah.
is also relieving, I guess. I don't know. I feel good crying. I
I
feel
love crying.
cry. I love crying.
I love crying.
I am a crybaby, and I like the feeling of you can cry about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That you're privileged to cry about some things, and it's something that's quite relieving to me as well. Because after you cry, right, and then you feel good, and then you can sleep really well. I like that feeling.
Yes,
I love
even the
it. I
times
love
the next day.
Yeah, and then I love it. I love being able to sleep, and then it's just really soft.
Mhm.
You feel really good after you cry.
But I feel like it's just do that soft.
I don't know. I don't know if
Everyone
everyone.
watching, this is just a Chanel thing.
Yeah,
No,
no,
Chanel is so soft. No, literally, she is so soft.
Oh my god.
yeah,
Got me
but
wanting to fly over to Malaysia to see how soft shit. Okay,
All right.
sorry, I don't want to.
What I want to do like to end this podcast was cause like Anna and I like we're doing a new thing with all of our new guests. Like so we want to donate money to you guys to a charitable organization, whether it's like helping for single mothers or anything. So we want
Yeah.
Anna's gonna send you guys a $50 Venmo or Zelle or whatever, and we want you guys to put that towards a charity of your choice in Malaysia. Oh my god, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this like. Yeah, so we want to donate to you guys to like help you guys bring awareness in Malaysia as well, and hopefully it carries on to the US.
Yeah, obviously we're not in Malaysia and it's
Right.
not a lot of money because we are also college students.
Yeah.
But we do hope like the $50 like helps you guys of any sort, and we would love to help you guys
Mhm.
carry on MORAA and expand MORAA. And we really do wish like the best for this. I'm genuinely like
Right.
keeping up to
I
date
have
with them and
goosebumps.
everything. So I'm really excited to see where MORAA goes, guys. And
Same.
yeah, I really hope a lot of people will have an opportunity to listen to this podcast and really hear about how passionate you guys have been speaking about the problems that arise in MORAA and everything you
Mhm.
guys are doing to make these events happen. Because at the end of the day, we're all college students. So it's crazy that you guys got a team together and you guys are, putting this together. So that's really awesome. And I'm happy for you guys.
Oh my
Thank
god,
you.
thank you so
Of
much.
course.
So much.
Did we make them cry? Did we make them
I'm not even kidding. Like when Danny was like, "Dude," and I was like, okay, is it like another question? And
Yeah,
then
I was
you-
like,
We're
okay.
done with the questions.
Oh
I was like, what?
I just want to say this is our first donation ever.
Yeah.
Really?
So honored. The
Yes.
first donation is from the
Yes.
You have no idea like how like there's so much we can do about it,
Mhm.
Like
$50
even if
is like
like
200 in
$50.
Malaysia.
Yeah, it's like 200 in Malaysia, and like
Oh.
Oh wow! Wait, we
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm really glad. Like
I'm
didn't
really
know
glad,
that
yeah.
much of a difference in the currency.
Like last night I was trying to like look up like charitable donations, whether it's like to like single mothers and stuff. And like I didn't like I don't know too much. So I was like, we'll just say like we want you guys to donate this to a
Yeah.
charity because you
We'll
guys would
leave
know
it
more
up to you
information
guys
on
to
everything.
the most beneficial.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Oh my god. Like I like never expected this. Like
This is wild.
Oh, this is what we do this for the
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
oh.
Oh my god, dude, like, oh damn, wow. We're so grateful. Okay, we
Mhm.
will pick like a charity of our choice and then donate the money towards them with MORAA and the KingKhong show's name.
Yeah,
I
oh my god,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
and
I
if you
love
guys
that.
really want to like show us, like we would also love to repost that as well so that we can
We
show that
will.
you
Mhm.
guys
Oh my god.
yeah. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh my god.
Happening.
Crazy.
Oh my god,
What?
I love this. Well, thank you guys so much for
Thank
coming on this
you.
podcast episode. It was I
Thank you
I
so
didn't
much for
even
having
realize
us.
how fast time flew because we were like, we're gonna keep this like 20 minutes long, and I
Yeah.
ended up talking for about an hour. But I'm gonna laugh so like I'm not gonna laugh through the whole thing, but we're gonna watch this video and I feel like I'm gonna start like laughing at points because I feel like the conversation drove in so many directions.
Right.
I'll have fun editing the video so we don't make it too long. But yeah, it was so nice having you guys on. Like, I'm really excited for MORAA, and it was really interesting to see everything that you guys have planned for the future.
Thank
I
you
appreciate you guys for
so
coming on
much,
to the
Anna.
show.
Thank you, Debbie.
And then
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Anna, for
much,
hosting
Debbie.
your first episode.
Yay! All
Thank
right,
you so
everyone,
much.
give it up for Cheryl and Chanelle. All right, bye, guys. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you. Bye bye.